What's up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. It's been a wonderful weekend in the Premier League, a crazy weekend in the Premier League. We've had an absolute incredible game at Stamford Bridge, a walk in the park for both Arsenal and Liverpool. And the Wolves have wandered all the way down to Molineux for just a wonderful, wonderful result. But we'll definitely get into that. Right out the rip, let's get the likes up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for being here. We are on our way to 200 subscribers, so go ahead and click that button there. Of course, there's only one place to start. It's been an absolutely magnificent, fantastic, awesome, incredible, back and forth, cut and thrust, toe-to-toe, amazing barnstormer of a game at the Stamford Bridge. An instant classic. Best game of the season so far, bar none. And Patrick, we're going to start with you, buddy. We didn't get to hear you in the preview. So what are you saying?
Well, if I had made it to the preview, I would have said that I thought that this was a chance for us to at least get a point, just because we were playing at home, and that's what ended up happening. Of course, my prediction was not as many goals as what turned out, but I did call for a point. But it was fantastic. I mean, I was texting with y'all, but I was sitting here watching this by myself for a little bit, and then I started watching it with my wife, and she's like, it was 2-1, and now it's like 4-3. What exactly happened? I said, a lot. It was fantastic too, because I've found that unless it's something ridiculous like Anthony Taylor, which we'll talk about that, I found that when I watch games now, I'm very calm, very quiet. I just watch it. I observe. So
I'm the exact opposite.
I'm the exact.
I know you are. I've seen you watch
it. Date me in the living room. No, I am not that way.
That's why you don't see watch-alongs of the Arsenal games on this channel. I'm gonna have to woosah and calm myself a little bit before I can do that.
Yeah, no,
but
I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy.
But what a game! I mean, absolutely fantastic. First off, I would like to thank Gareth Southgate for continuing to piss off Raheem Sterling, because the man's playing like he's playing possessed. I mean, and of course he had some, a little bit of extra motivation to, play against former side, and but it was fantastic, and there's so much you could take from it. First off, the negative, you gave up 4 goals. That's a negative. Now I feel like one of them. Yeah, we won't. We'll get into that.
No, we'll talk about it. I want to talk about it.
But I thought that it was a very open game, and I actually was reading something afterwards, and I didn't really think about this until it was brought to my attention, and I kind of went back and I watched actually a couple games where Doku didn't play, and the thing that I've noticed is that with Doku. And this was brought to my attention, so I was just kind of more confirming it. When Doku plays, City is a lot more direct, a whole lot more direct, which actually leaves them wide open for us to play to our strength. And I thought that one, it was a great tactical matchup. Just, Poach would make a move, then Pep would make a move, and then it was like, okay, what's Poach gonna do? Well, Poach does this, and Pep responds this way, and it was just great all around.
Yep.
Like, take the goals out of it. There was so much that was fantastic about it. Goals just made it better.
I feel like it was the exact opposite of the Arsenal City game.
And see, that was kind of my point when I said I was kind of bored with y'all's game, just because there was no attack, there was no.
Oh, they fought for it. Yeah, they fought for it truly. Like, it was just midfield battle. Like,
I think our game would have been different with Rodri in the game, and I think that the fact that Rodri was clearly not at his best, and I'm sure Lewis, you'll be able to back that up, was a huge factor in this game. Rodri seemed to struggle.
So why does Rodri struggle though?
Y'all had an insane press going on, is what I would
Conor
say.
Gallagher.
You called
Conor
it.
Gallagher.
You said Connor was going to do it. I said Caicedo because of the body. I wanted
Conor
Caicedo because of
Gallagher.
the body. Connor
It's
ran.
unbelievable what Pochettino's done with him.
Well, he's our new Conte, or he's just an engine. He will
Yeah.
press. He will run for 90 minutes.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves with that comparison, but I see what you're saying.
I get what you're saying. I'm saying
he's that new. Conte. He's that position now. He's the work. He is the engine that cannot stop running for this system to work. And he's done immaculate at it. These last four games have just been amazing for him. But I think it's a little bit what I was talking about last week. If they play us and it gets open and it gets back and forth, we'll get to it. I mean, bro, I feel like we gave this game away a little bit.
I feel like, there were some things that are a bit unlucky. I feel like Gusto could have won the game.
Deflect.
Yeah, let's get into it. Bit by bit. Okay, if that is a penalty.
Oh, that's so soft. That's soft serve Wendy's melted.
If Cuckoo has fouled Haaland there, where's my goal? Where's my goal versus Newcastle? Pull that back. Where is my 0-0?
And Haaland
Newcastle
pushes him first. That's my thing. Haaland extends his arm to push him first.
And there's another example. There's another example of the same play actually in the Arsenal game on Burnley's goal. Koleosho, in real time, it looked like Koleosho has pushed Tomiyasu in real time, and I stood up with my hands in the air in real time, going, how is that allowed? But then when I saw it, it's the exact same thing. They both have a huge fistful of each other's jersey. And because Tomiyasu has yanked on Koleosho, it's changed their positions, and Tomiyasu falls down. Same thing. Because Haaland has yanked on Cucurella and switched their positions, he's diving. Lewis, come on. It's a dive. Cuckoo's got a hold of his jersey, right? Haaland feels the little tug. Sack of bricks.
It sucks, dude.
That was a dive, man.
It sucks, dude, because Silva gets to the cross. Like, Cuckoo didn't even have to go it. Like, it was covered.
It's a dive.
It was covered.
It's a clever forwards dive. If you want to call it a clever play from the forward.
To his credit, Jake, I'm diving every time I come across that situation.
I hear you. I hear you, man.
I'm crashing the keeper. I'm rolling so hard.
That's so soft, though, man. That's so soft. He's gotten one. What are you saying on that, Lewis? He's gotten him.
A foul is a foul, right? I mean,
if we're going to nitpick, wait.
Well, if we're going to nitpick, Cucurella should have got sent off for simulation later, right? So I mean,
I'm not saying sent off.
He didn't dive.
It's just
he's saying that Cuckoo dove. If the Haaland dove, Cuckoo dove. That's all he's saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we're going to nitpick goal,
it's not.
I'm saying they're both dives. I'm saying they're both dives.
Well, let's be honest, though. We're talking about little Cucurella.
Cucurella's 110 pounds, man.
Compared to
he's as big as one
who's
of Thor's legs. One of Thor's legs.
So, if we watch Cucurella the whole game, what was he doing the whole game to everyone he played against? The whole game, right?
Picking him and pulling him.
Yeah.
You're talking about Bukayo Saka, right?
But so my point being, if he was doing that the whole game, if I'm the referee and I'm watching him do that the whole game, even if it's soft, you've prompted me to say that's what you do. Because if you do it outside the box, I might not call it, or I'll call a foul. But if you're doing it in the box, and the thing that doesn't necessarily matter is if it's a foul, it's a foul. Like Diaz's foul was stupid. He got the ball, but it was a penalty, stonewall penalty. You're not going to get me complaining about that. A foul is a foul.
But here's the case. I'm going to make about this because it's so soft. It's off the ball, but it's off the ball, and he has no chance of getting to the cross. Like, That has to matter when it's that soft. Like, I understand having the ball. I understand having possession. I understand having a goal-scoring opportunity and you get knocked off balance. He is none of those
being
things.
14 feet tall.
Yes.
If he's not getting pulled, you don't think he's able to go over to the ball. You're saying he can't get
saying he's not going through Thiago Silva because
That's not
Thiago Silva's already on the cross.
Get there. Because the point is, can he get there? Because
if
he can get
not
there,
through Thiago. No.
There's no there's no way.
Maybe Thor can. Maybe just him.
This is true. This is true.
But I mean, we're looking at it. I'm again. Point being, a foul is a foul, right?
Is that a foul? Though, like if that happens on a free kick, if that happens in the middle of the field, off the ball, okay, because it's Anthony Taylor. And he's probably if it's because it's Anthony Taylor, he's probably like, you know what, I hate Chelsea. Let's call this a foul. But I mean, that's 6 in one, 1,000 in the other. That's the very definition of they're both fouling each other.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just
the initial foul was done by Holland, so that should have been it.
That should cancel it out for me.
And that's what my argument was. If yes, Cuckoo pulled him down. Yes, was it soft?
Then
yes.
A foul is a foul, right?
But
Holland stiff armed him like he's Marshawn Lynch running for the end zone. He just straight.
It's the same thing. It's the same kind of thing that Ivan Toney was doing all last season. Yeah. He'd get up on you. Right? Yeah. And he'd grab, just like Diego Costa, X. He'd grab a hold of you. He'd wrap his arm around you or grab a hold of you somehow. Yeah. And as soon as you threw your arms or put your weight in or whatever. Oh, he's got me. Oh,
he got me.
My point, seriously. All right. If you want to call that a foul, I got no problem with calling that a foul. But Cuckoo was in position until he was fouled by Holland. Because he was fouled by Holland, Holland got into position for the cross. That's all I'm saying.
And then he got fouled.
No, it's
but just, he wouldn't have been in position.
Here's my thing. Where's my three plays back VAR check on this? Arsenal got three plays back VAR check. I want 3 plays back on every VAR check. The play leading to the play that led to the play. Like, that's what I want. Where's my 3?
Man,
I only got 1 VAR check because Anthony Taylor hates
Was
us.
it soft? I don't care. Like, I literally don't care.
Bro.
Because let's just be honest. If it was the inverse, would you care? Because I wouldn't care.
I mean, I'd be happy with my point. I'm saying.
I mean, he's right. If Gabby Jesus does that and we win the penalty,
I don't care.
I'll probably I'll give it one of these, and then I'd be like, all right,
one of these.
Just scratch your head a little bit, and then.
What makes it worse is Anthony Taylor. You're talking about a guy
already a bias.
Here's the funny thing. I'm jumping ahead and then we'll come back to it. Is when they took Reece James off, I'm like, why are they taking Reece off? Literally, Gusto gets the shot. And I'm like, what are you doing?
James would have just
next to me. I'm like,
he would have buried that.
No, that's a perfect segue actually, because I do want to mention how different, how just elevated the levels are so much higher when Reece James is in this team. And yesterday was a huge example of it. Like, I know that you guys are fans, obviously, but this guy, heap some praise on this man's name because that was a game.
That's why we hate him. That's why we hate him. I love Reece James, but when he's gone, I hate him. I hate him.
It's totally different.
It's
the
not
attack's
the players.
different. The defense.
Your
is
captain's
different.
there. Your
It's all
captain's
different.
there. The presence. He might be a cool, calm, collected, not your modern day era captain where he's getting in your face, telling you need to work harder and all this other stuff.
They need to let him wear sunglasses.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Just Mr. Cool.
Mr. Cool. Bro.
Straight up as casual as he can be.
Ball right off of his chest.
Yeah,
like,
just
dude. That control was. That's some with Gavardio in his face. That was
like, reminded me of Drogba. Seriously,
there's no expression though. Like I think even if Reece James scored, he'd be like,
"That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm just as casual as he could be." He's just so casual.
I do want to shout out though to Raheem for his goal. Raheem was respectable a little bit to not celebrate that moment against City. Like he even was like in his moment of this game talking about Mr. Casual. I thought Raheem would have had it a little more in him to be like just. Hey
Lewis, tell me about Kyle Walker in this game, man. Because
he got
Sterling had him on toast a few times.
Well, I mean, we can talk about the whole back line, because if we're being honest, I mean,
Gavardio had a shocker too.
Yes,
it was literally errors across the back, because City had no issue. Like, I'm being honest, this is no disrespect to Chelsea. I was up for it. Like when Chelsea went up 2-1, I was not worried about City losing the game at all. And I'm gonna be honest, I was not worried about City losing at all, because I knew we were gonna score. Right. It was about, we weren't stopping them. Because, I mean, they looked good. Raheem was burning them down. Jackson had a pretty good game as well. Even though Cucurella was literally dragging on everyone's shirt, he played fairly well. Foden played amazing. Foden was a beast. And the thing, I look at it, and I'm like, I'm not worried about us going forward. We keep making errors in the back. Like, they was making constant errors. I was like, what is this? But then somebody made a point, and I thought it was good because I was at a City bar. It was like, Stones is missing. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. You're right. Mm-hmm. That was it. Stones was missing. And
that we had Agent Cove out there, man. Yeah, Agent Cove out there and Stones missing.
But COVID didn't make a difference, because even in the end when he clapped for, Cole Palmer scoring the goal, my bad, he did like this, my bad. Anyway, whatever he did.
The fist pump.
Yeah, it's whatever. But he didn't do anything when he was in the game, and I mean, I'm not knocking him.
Well, that was my point. He just didn't do anything. Like that's.
But the point being, was Nunez was going to do anything? I don't think so. Now, I was listening to several, because a lot of people were furious at Diaz, and the one where was it the first goal, when he dove, and then if he didn't dive, he would have been standing there. I think it was your second goal, because he dove. Goal? Was it the Sterling one? Because
the Sterling goal was second,
because Walker was in front.
First one was Silva.
Silva didn't get marked.
No, it wasn't.
Silva.
It wasn't
a banger.
Yeah, it was a corner kick, right?
There was two defenders. Diaz slid across. He was 10 yards away. Never had a chance.
Goal.
Yeah, it was his goal. If he just stood there, he would have been in the way of the goal. But he went diving in. Like, what are you doing? And then on the who's the guy who got the penalty?
Broja
was nasty for it. He went, he stopped, ate him up. Now, I mean, Diaz got the ball.
He knew
when he took him out. He took him out. And I was like, yo, that was dirty.
What nobody has said? You know what I have not heard on any of the content that I've listened to about this game? I noticed it myself, and I marked it down, or I didn't mark it down, but I made a note in my head. Broja leaves his leg in, pushes his leg into Diaz, leaves it in there.
Stupid for doing it.
Diaz is crazy out of control there.
He's like 3 yards across the box.
It's the striker mentality to leave yourself there.
But he left it there.
Because the challenge is coming and you have it beat. But
just like Holland.
Oh, yeah.
Just like Holland.
It was justice. It was justice.
That was a foul, right?
I mean, it's clear. The more cynical of us are just going to be like, hey, man, that's clever forward play right there. That's just some clever striker play right there. And hey, here's what I say objectively, because I get heated and emotional and passionate as much as the next guy. But here's what I say objectively. For a great example of this point is Luis Suarez and the handball in the World Cup. Okay, the letter of the law has been followed.
Yep.
Broja leaves his leg in, and it is a foul, and the letter of the law has been followed. So you took that gamble, and you were punished for the foul, right? Maybe they're going to hit the pin, maybe they won't. But my point is that if in Diaz's mind, if he doesn't make that slide, Broja's slotting home.
Yeah, because he's wide. It's one-on-one with.
Yeah. So Diaz has in his head instantly made this gamble, like maybe, just maybe, they won't hit the pin.
Yeah,
it's like I say, it was a gamble. It was close, So as much as it's like, man, Brozova's that's cheeky, so to speak.
Cheeky.
The letter of the law, like the way the game is today, it's all fine. It's all happened as we might expect.
Bro, I remember when that wasn't a pin. It was like, nope, wasn't taking a shot. Don't worry about it. Like, what?
Right? Is there blood?
Rio Ferdinand coming and kicking people's legs in. Like,
do you see blood on this field? Nope. Then you're good.
Keep playing. Play on.
Yeah.
Play on.
But I mean, I you know, the funny thing is, for the neutral, it was a wonderful game and display for football. If you're a purist, you hate the game because it was crap defense on both sides.
Horrible defense.
Yeah,
crap
defense.
Horrible
defense.
Well, as far as
Akanji hitting the goal before half, man. Honestly, that might have saved you. That saved you the points. I really, truly will take that to my grave.
No.
Where
the points were lost for you, X. Where the points were lost for you is Gusto.
Yeah.
That's where you should have won. It doesn't matter. You should have won the game. It doesn't matter. He's in the box. He's 10 yards from goal. He should have won the game.
Either because
he beat Ederson. He should have won the game.
Well, he should have won the game.
There's plenty of chances where City there was 3-2 on
when Holland had a 1-on-1 and just banged
and he couldn't finish. No, I'm not going to say.
I thought it was
fair enough.
It was an amazing save.
I thought it was over. Soon as Holland gets that ball in the gap and he's
they should have won.
I mean, yeah, I hear it. You can say that Doku should have done better when he hits it through dude man's legs. If he doesn't take that extra touch and just slots into the corner, so
yeah.
But it was. If you've never watched football and you're a casual and this is the game you turn on, you watching football from this point forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I did also want to mention that is kind of shocking is that Chelsea won all of the second balls.
They did.
Which is crazy because half the time it was like Sterling was challenging for the first header.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe once or twice it was Nico, but Sanchez was hitting him wide and Gallagher was just gobbling up all the second balls. The second goal where Gavardiol has an absolute shocker. That came off of a long Sanchez ball to the left wing.
Connor, bounce off the Connor.
Actually, Gallagher actually went up for the header with Rodri, and Raheem come down with the second ball, plays it out to the other side, and then Gavardiol has a wonder touch, and it's just a ball across for the tap in. So I think that when you play against City, especially if you're going to be really anyone who plays against City, because their press is so well designed to make you hit long balls, and then they win the second ball. That's like literally Arsenal try to emulate that style of pressing, because we have Declan Rice who just mops every second ball up. So it's a good overall tactic, and it's so similar to what City are doing. They just didn't win any second balls. And I think, Lewis, you said it, because Johnny Stones is normally going up for those headers, and Rodri's coming down with the second ball. But Rodri was challenging in the air so many times.
In addition to that, Ake got hurt the day of the game, so Ake couldn't play either. Because remember, I mentioned, I said I thought Ake would play in that game, and he didn't get to play because he had an ankle injury before the game. Because I think he would have started over Gavardiol.
Yeah,
but again, as a neutral, I went in and I knew Chelsea would come at us because they have to. They had to play. They could not play at home, right? So I expected it to be a game, and then when you get goals early, I'm like, I'm open for it. And then Chelsea scored, and I'm like, I like it. And the thing about it is, you know how I feel. I love when teams play against City. I love it. And Chelsea was up for it, which I think is great. And you know I was talking about this. I like the direction they're going in. They're gonna be fine going forward. Now I can't promise you, and I'm gonna just be honest. When you show up in Manchester, I can't promise it's gonna be that. It's not gonna be the same thing.
Well, we'll have Nkunku back.
Yeah, that don't matter. It's not gonna be the same thing. It won't matter.
Yeah, they'll have De Bruyne back.
It won't matter. And Stones, it won't matter. It won't matter.
I don't know if De Bruyne is going to be the same De Bruyne when he comes back.
By then,
bro, don't kid yourself. Don't be.
No.
Look, I'm with you.
to be that
I'm playing as well. Like
with the injury.
I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it like this.
Just don't even get your hopes up.
Alvarez is on top of his game. So Silva's on top of his game. If our defenders played worth anything in that game, the game is not the same. Now you know this. We know this is.
Now, I will say this: our entire starting defense, bar one player, is in the hospital wing as well. Like we didn't like our defense is just as Swiss cheese as the next guy. It's
but
we're playing the Crypt Keeper himself. We're playing Father Time on the back line.
He scored though. And he scored.
He did score.
Kudos
in twice. What you talking about?
The third or fourth oldest Prem player to score in a game.
That's beautiful.
Another interesting fun fact from this game: Pep's never given 4 goals.
Yep.
Wow.
In his life.
And Holland broke a new record. He scored broke a personal record. He scored with his butt.
No. Did you see his quote? I've never scored with my balls before.
Well, you know, the funny thing is when he went in, you saw he kept trying to keep his arm up because they were checking for the handball. He was fighting his arm in the air. So, you know, I mean, the game was enjoyable.
I mean, kudos to him. That does take, I know he's big, so all he has to do is kind of throw himself in there. But it takes a lot of body control to keep all of it aligned for. I mean,
but as a neutral, I loved it. I loved
it was a great game.
I loved to see Chelsea play open. I hope they play like that because remember, one of your complaints is that you couldn't score. And you scored, what, 6, 8 goals?
8 in 2 games. They scored 8 months worth of goals in 2 games.
That's more than we scored the entire back half of the season.
You know that Jackson is 1 goal away from matching Havertz's season total last year.
Oh, his season total?
Why you got to do that? Why you got to be like that? We're having a good time here. We're having a a nice conversation. We're having a lovely chat about a wonderful, incredible game. It's all positive. It's all positivity. It's all vibes. It's all good feelings. And you gotta bring that into this.
I was gonna bring something else. He's already matched Werner's first season.
Timo.
So I mean, no. Do I? We joked about the whole thing about when we played Luton and he scored 2 goals and this, that, and the other, and Drogba, and he's not him. But I will say that he's got confidence. That goal that he scores, if he was in that position a month ago, he skies it.
I'd have been worried.
100% skies it. So, I mean, I'm glad to see him with confidence. It's going to suck that he's going to go to AFCON here soon. Mm-hmm. But at least we have Broja and we'll have Nkunku at that point too. But I did want to, before we get to Cole Palmer, because I know you complained about Enzo leaving Akanji. And in the moment, I agreed. But then I went back and I watched it. Nobody was covering the outside of the box. So if that ball gets headed out, it's a free shot for Rodri. I think it was Silva was in there too.
So Enzo thought they were going to pass it there. That's what it was. Enzo did not expect the cross. He thought the ball was going to be played there, not crossed there or headed there. He thought it was going to be a direct pass right to the top of the box. That's why he takes that step.
Yeah.
And then he's in no man's land when the cross comes in.
Yeah. And credit to Akanji. I think, I mean, as a player entering that attacking position, when you see that man misstep like that to know to fill that gap, again, that's more of a scorer's mindset. And Akanji's just really not that guy.
Look at his chops, man. But anyway, he's just like, you left me wide open.
Just golly. I mean, credit to him too. Clean.
But I did want to say I thought Enzo was fantastic when we had the ball.
Yeah.
He played well too.
Huh?
And, he did play well. Yeah.
And that's the thing, people keep talking about, and of course, when you have the price tag that he has, same thing with Caicedo. The question is, what does he do in the big games? And, everybody's talking about goals and all this. And I would love for him to score goals. Don't get me wrong. But the dude has a way of controlling things. And it's something that we have probably missed since gosh, maybe Frank and Essien. I mean, like those two together are really making a partnership. And then you've got Connor just running like a madman. But I can't go without saying Cole Palmer, man. I mean,
best 40 mil we've spent.
Cold Palmer.
Cole Palmer. But no, everybody's got to point to the goal. I love the goal. Of course, it gets us the point.
Brings so much.
How about that move where he dribbles through 3 people, and if he doesn't lose the ball, he's slotting that past Ederson.
Yeah, I think I remember the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Insane.
He's offensive. He's the offensive mindset to attack. Like he's always trying to attack goal. We lack that a lot in our attack, and he really fills that piece of the puzzle for us. I do agree, man. Jake said it best. I think the best way to sum up Cole for the team right now is, and that's why he left City, right? Like, yeah, sure, he probably could have started in the Riyadh slot. Everybody's giving, pep in the press, and everybody's bringing it up. Honestly, Cole can be more like there's so many names at City, and Chelsea's such a new invention. Like it's a new breed of Chelsea players. Like he can be a top 3 jersey sales person at Chelsea. I don't think he's doing that at City, and I think he knows that, and he has the quality to be that, especially moving into the England international. Hopefully he plays well there and can make a name for himself and, going into the Euros.
Yeah, that's big.
It's big. Yeah, it is. Right. And so
big up Rico Lewis too. Rico got called up.
I love Rico. I love Rico Lewis.
So and it just goes to show too, like I've complained about it this season a lot when we go down early and when we lose goals stupidly and we lose our heads and we start panicking. And honestly, the boys looked 5-6 years older than what they are and have shown in this game, and a little bit so in the Tottenham game. After the 1-0, we could have easily lost our heads there to be down that early.
We were close to being down 2-0.
Right. I think in both of these I think in both of these games there's an element. I think there's an element to both of those games, to the Tottenham game and this game here that and I was going to say something about it earlier when we were talking about Enzo as well. The fact that y'all's energy was so high and your press was so intense had already revealed the fact that City have a mistake or two in them today. They aren't as sure as they normally are in possession on the ball. Rodri's already given it away once or twice. So once y'all have gone down, it's not like, oh, well, they've already blitzed us. We haven't seen the ball. We haven't done anything in this game. It's over. Heads down. Done. Your energy was so high still. You were still battling. You were grappling. You were in the game. It wasn't like, and I think because you felt a little hard done by because of it was the penalty was their first goal, that the energy went even up a little bit after the goal and you were able to still cope. Same with the Tottenham goal, because you started that game super high energy and then they matched your energy. Mm-hmm. But it didn't change when they scored. Right. You still went with the energy, and then, of course, they lost their head completely and gave you the game.
I think that's a lot of credit to Pochettino and the players kind of buying into what he's trying to do in the system he's trying to run here. It's a credit to his managerial style. It's credit to his match or his man building or his player development.
Yeah, it's a faith in what's happening.
Right, whatever you want to call it. Because earlier in this season when we would go down, even in the Brentford game, just recent, we have to look at, not just the Tottenham game and the Arsenal game. We dropped the ball. We panicked that game. Mm-hmm. We did not look like ourselves. We didn't played it disjointed. We played tired. We didn't play we played down. We played down.
Well, it was the opposite, right? It was the opposite of what I was just saying, because against Brentford, you hadn't produced anything.
Right.
You hadn't really shown anything positive.
Right.
And then when they scored, it was like, oh no, this isn't happening.
The Bus FC, here we go.
This isn't happening, and so it was a bit more of a different thing. When City scored, it was like, oh man, we're in for it today. Let's go for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
What? I think a thing that matters too is, because I'm not going to break up the Chelsea love fest, but I think it's important to understand that, I remember you guys saying this, and it matters because the games that they've recently played, they had to win. They literally had to win these games. And your complaint has always been, and I know X for sure has said this, we always play up for the big teams. It's when you play the minnows that you have to see what's going to happen.
Bournemouth and Forest.
And so the true test is when you come back from the break, what you do. Because the thing about it is like, for example, Patrick, you mentioned Cole Palmer's move. It was wonderful, but then the part of the reason why he's not at City is because the end product, right? And so while he attacks, he didn't score when he was at City. I mean, he had some, but he didn't score. This is why Foden and Doku and all these guys played over him. So I'm not going to like dump on him because, you know, what was the statistic? And I know they did shade when they did it. They said Cole Palmer, 4 goals this season, 4 penalties, right? That was shade. Shade for sure was thrown in that.
Jorginho made his bread and butter at Chelsea, just hitting in pins for us. When we
once again, we're having a nice, classy conversation about positive things, about lovely Cole Palmer is doing so good. He's looking so great. And now you got to bring in these comparisons just to bring it all crashing right down. I've already got a tear in my eye after that comparison. What are you doing to me?
So you look at it, and you know the thing about it is as much as, and think about it, as City fans, you can't find City fans who didn't like Cole Palmer when he was playing. They saw him as the heir apparent to Mahrez, but the biggest question was he wasn't finishing. He didn't have the end product. He was inconsistent. He would attack and he would create space and he would be electric.
Salah back when we had him, same conversation.
But he didn't score. So the thing is that as much as it's cool that he's scoring the penalties, you need him to get some open play goals for it to matter, because otherwise it's just flash, right? It's what Doku was when he played against you guys. He was flash. He didn't have any end product. So you have to make sure that you have a balance for that, because the difference is that even though Doku was the replacement for Palmer, Doku has 6 assists and 3 goals. You got to get some open play goals in there, because the thing is you have to create. Now, and again, I think Cole is a good player. He deserves the call up. But at the same time, in the environment he's in, yes, you can be excited about that. But at City, you can't be excited about that. So I'm not knocking him for it, but it made sense for him to go because he fits in what Chelsea's trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. The move. It's exactly right.
And so we look at it like, for example, you mentioned Chelsea's energy was really high. City loves that. So soon Chelsea went up 2-1 and City was unfazed. The commentators were like, City is rattled. I'm like, who's rattled? They immediately went and scored again. They like that. Like those guys, even playing sloppy. And the thing is, and I thought this, and this is not arrogant, but it's sort of looking at where they have been in the way they play. But City played bad and still almost won the game.
And I mean, your champions.
Gulls scored 4 goals.
I mean, let's be honest.
Right.
But the point being is we're not champions this year yet. We have to go and do it. And so the thing about it is you still have to prove it every year, because winning a title is not easy. Like, I mean, as Chelsea fans, you know that. As Arsenal fans, you're working on that, right? It's not easy. So just you could literally take that and say, man, we went down and these guys, and again, it's kids, because Chelsea's a young team. These kids punched us in the face.
Oh, they're
and
kids.
They did.
Right.
And then you had vendetta players. You had Cole Palmer and Raheem Sterling. You had vendetta players. So they're playing with extra juice. And
with Agent Kova, baby.
and they're just soaking it all in, and they're playing, and they're like, boom, we're ready. Haaland, he has a brace, right? He has the most goals in the league. Nobody cares about, because now all of a sudden, we didn't score in clutch games. We scored 2 goals in this one, right? But nobody says anything, right?
You know what's crazy? Haaland is the man. Haaland was the man of the match, but nobody's talking about it.
I thought Palmer was the man of the match.
Palmer got man of the match.
Not over Haaland.
Palmer got man of the match.
The Opta Max. There's an app called Opta Max that like does a real close calculation of like a whole points calculation and everything of people's
like player rating, like 8.9, 8.8.
They gave Haaland man of the match.
9.3. Yeah, he got 9. Now Sterling played really well.
Sterling was really close, and so was Palmer.
Sterling man of the match if it wasn't Haaland. He played
for me. Yeah, it's either Haaland or Sterling for sure. Haaland or Sterling for sure. But one thing I do want to mention is it just real quick, kind of out of left field. I think one thing that also aided how crazy this game was and how kind of sloppy it was at times was, dude, that rain was coming down.
It was like St. James
dying.
A torrential downpour.
Which I will say this too. I had one of my first real coaches used to say, He loved going to Charleston when we had to play his team on Northside. We'd always get ripped. He used to love going to Charleston and playing in the rain because it took almost all of that skill and flash touch, and it made hustle. It's 50-50 balls. The ball isn't moving as fast. They get dead in the water. Like, it makes hustle more important than skill. And we had fitness and hustle. They would beat us on skill, and we used to love playing them. And
man, some of them fields in Charleston too.
Dude, you remember the one where we would blast.
Dude, I played on Northside's field. I went to that training session with you on Northside's field.
It would literally just move 5 yards and die, and you laced it, and it would just.
The crazy part is looking at the ball at Stamford Bridge. The ball would roll. You would see the path, and it would just stop.
And it would just stop
anymore.
No,
there's like a divot. There's like divots in the ground behind it.
You're just. Calming down it. Yeah,
I think that contributed mightily to City's sloppiness.
And with the bridge being as live, like that was live, boy. Like, I expected that to
great, man.
It was better. Great. I would honestly say the bridge was louder from the TV and from the televised view of it than the Arsenal game bridge was. And I expected the opposite to happen.
That's because that was a fun game. Both teams were kind of bad versus Arsenal in the Arsenal game.
Yeah. It was just live. It was like you could feel it, and I love that. And like you said, man, if you're gonna watch one, go back and watch one. If you watched one, just not being an avid fan, that was a banger of a match.
I was gonna say something.
The Arsenal game was a 2-2 draw as well. Chelsea gets up for these teams.
We always play. Yeah, we're here. We're top 5. No, we're not. We used to play Forest.
Think about 0-0 with Poole, 4-1 over Spurs.
It wasn't 0-0.
Was it 1-1?
Yeah.
Well, you drew them regardless of what it was. You drew Poole on day one. You've beaten Tottenham, and you've drawn both City and Arsenal.
Yep.
Newcastle will be the tell.
That's the next.
I mean, that's the next game.
Good.
Is that the next one? I thought Brighton was.
It's either Brighton Newcastle or Newcastle Brighton.
It's Newcastle. Brighton. Newcastle is at Newcastle, so I don't know about that one. But the Brighton game's at home. I think they're going to.
Oh yeah, but hey, to hear Trippier tell it, to hear Kieran Trippier tell it, man. Whoo, goodness gracious! Oh, what Hey man, get out the tissues. Get out your tiny violins up there in Newcastle.
Injuries, really?
Yeah.
Get out of here, bro.
You want to see our hospital bill, bud? You want to see our hospital bill?
Get out of here, man. But anyway,
I was gonna say real quick, kind of going back to Lewis's point on Palmer. The goal that Nico scored, Palmer was about to slot it. I mean, he really was. He saw Nico coming off, and so he pulled back just a little bit. But I do think that Palmer will start scoring from open play.
You got to get
especially once he. I think what's going to be interesting to see is how do we slot in Nkunku now, because we can't sit Raheem. You can't sit Callagher.
Nico sits.
It's going to have to be Nico.
They'll slip Sterling at the 9 or Nkunku at the 9, and they'll keep Oliver Sterling all day long since it's working.
No, they won't put Sterling in the 9.
They'll put Nkunku at the 9. Jackson gets
when Jackson goes to AFCON, is that when Nkunku comes back?
Nkunku comes back actually after this break.
It's in December, right? Or January?
No,
is it January?
He's supposed to be AFCON's in January.
AFCON's in January.
27th.
Oh, I thought he was out till after. I thought it was
that's next. After. That's next match week.
Yeah,
that's the next match week.
Practicing with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be nice.
That's the next game.
But just to kind of wrap things, I think both teams can take something from this. One, the resiliency of City on the road. I think that was very impressive. Like I said, y'all are champions for a reason. This is a different team. You most definitely were missing De Bruyne in this one, I thought, tremendously, actually. Foden was really good.
You're missing Stones more, I would say.
But
because Rodri was still nobody talking
how
about
did you feel about Alvarez's performance? Because I thought he was amazing.
Who? Alvarez, yeah. He was kind of missing.
I thought he was a ghost.
Foden picked it up.
Foden was incredible.
I feel like Rodri kind of got isolated, kind of got left alone a bit. Still managed to score what I thought was the game winner. It was just another goal, another last second Rodri goal where I'm like, this motherfucker.
Dude, as soon as he scored that, I literally threw my phone. I was watching it on my phone.
Oh, man, I was like,
at the barn. You don't understand how mad I like. I bought the nice OtterBox with the screen protector because of this. I was watching it on my phone at the barn. He scores that goal. I literally just go
launched it.
And I was like, I'm done. I walked out.
Controller style, just launched it.
The sound was still on, so it was playing, and then homie gets a pin, and I like run up to my phone. I'm like, no way. Oh, you don't understand, mad Lewis. When he hits this goal, it was some FIFA in the 95th into the tournament. I'm in the round of 16 in the 8th.
A FIFA glitch and you lose it.
Seriously. No, that's one of those goals.
If it was an Xbox controller,
the computer is like, you're not
70-0.
beating me. I don't care what you think.
Yeah. That's for me. When that happens to me, I'm sitting there screaming at the TV that FIFA cheated. I've been cheated by a video game. This is corruption. It's corruption. It's a scandal. Get the PGMOL on the line. This is ridiculous.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Hold on. I do want to make one quick point, man. Now, Gallagher did play well, but he should have had at least one yellow. He should have had at least one yellow card. They didn't give him any. He should. You know exactly, Patrick. You know he should have.
He did the Fernandinho. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
That was great. Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. Well, all in all,
it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun. It's actually really nice to actually end this, I don't know, round or whatever you want to call it, leading into the international break, because there's been some times where we go into international break and the last game's just like,
oh god, and now we have 2 weeks to sit on that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Grandfather just, hey guys, it's okay.
It's okay. We're all gonna go to the pool. We're gonna have a nice vacation at the swimming pool.
We're gonna go camping. We're gonna tent out.
We're gonna sing Kumbaya.
Team build, guys. We're gonna get this right.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Well, all in all, absolutely fantastic game. Great advert for the league. Best game of the season by far. Chelsea, very excited about it, back into the top 10. And of course, Man City back where they're used to, on top of the table. But we move over to the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal have gone through the motions and gotten a victory, an expected victory over Burnley. But man, first of all, when I turned this on Peacock, they were trying out a new camera angle. Okay. It was on a drone, a tower, and it was going back and forth, and you could tell when it dipped down a little bit, and it was doing this a little bit. I was so pissed that I tweeted at Peacock about how bad it was. They tweeted me back. They got back to me on Twitter, or X, I should say. And they're like, "Hey, thanks for the feedback." It was a real like political kind of answer, because I was in all caps. This drone cam is awful. What are you doing? Bring the tower cam back now. This is terrible. Like, I was laying into them, and they're like, "Thank you for your feedback. We will take it into consideration." But they did change it back.
Is responding to that,
They did change it back for the second half. They switched it back for that guy. So they listened and they changed it back. But I thought that, we had some good performances, like Declan Rice, for example, because that's what he does. And then we had some less than. No, let's just call a spade a spade. Kai Havertz is awful. Terrible.
I tried to tell you, man,
and he got hooked. And don't kid yourself, Arsenal fans. Man got hooked. He got hooked in the 60th minute. Arteta doesn't take Havertz out that soon. You have not seen him come out that early in a game all season long. If he starts a game, he gets 80 minutes. He come out in the 60th minute. He was so bad. Literal nothing. He did nothing. Yeah, okay. He pressed. He ran a little bit, bro.
You're a professional football.
I'm so sick. I'm so sick of seeing Kai Havertz in this lineup. We're playing with a hole in our lineup every game. We're playing with a hole in our lineup every single
3.5 seasons, man.
Is this where I mentioned he scored 7 total goals last season for us as a
9? And he was your top scorer. So don't come to me with that.
That's my point.
He was
tied. He was tied. Whatever. And so the other guy didn't score more than 7 goals all season, bro.
Hazard emulating Sterling scored 7
But
as well.
You scored more than that in the last 2 games. Come on, dude. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. He's a hole in the Arsenal lab. You know why we haven't been able to have and especially with Partey out as well, why we haven't found Rice's best position. Maybe he could be 6, maybe he should be 8. Is because we bought Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Just imagine if Partey was healthy.
Yeah.
Just imagine if we'd have gone and bought Douglas Luiz.
Can you imagine that though? Can you imagine Partey healthy? I'm just showing.
No, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. That doesn't happen. He's literally been injured more than he's played for us. It's Robin. It's Robin Van Persie. It's Robin Van Persie all over again. Except we're just not ever gonna get a full season of health from Partey. 11-12, we had a whole season of Robin Van Persie. And then you know what he did? He got bought because we were still a selling club then. 1 season, man. 1 full season. If Thomas Partey was healthy this entire season, with Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard being our main 3 midfield all season long, I'd bet the house we'd win the league. I'd bet the absolute house we'd win the league. And, I'm just saying, man, Rice cannot do what we need Declan Rice to do. He's an absolute monster. I heard someone say call him a unicorn, and I completely agree. He can do anything that you need. He's available every game. He works his ass off every game. He's had an 8 out of 10 literally every game he's played for Arsenal. 7, 8 out of 10 every single time. And he's having to cover for Jorginho half the game.
He's playing 2 positions.
He's playing guards not in there. He's playing the whole midfield by himself.
Yeah.
Because Kai Havertz is a literal stuffed shirt.
Well,
He's literally.
This is where I want to ask you a question since you brought up Jorginho. Why is he captain when you have Willie Saliba?
Because Willie Saliba is too young. Willie Saliba has not been in the team long enough. Is the only thing I can think of.
Been in there longer than Jorginho.
Yeah, but Jorginho has experience being a captain of Italy, Champions League winner, Euros winner. He has the experience. I hate him. Don't get me wrong. I don't support the decision, but I understand it. These are the reasons.
I don't know if there's anyone on Arsenal's squad, honestly, and I don't say this, and I say this beyond his play. I don't think there's anyone on that squad, bar a couple players, that rival Jorginho's knowledge of the game. Jorginho has a true understanding, and I believe this when he plays well and when he did play well for us, even still and beyond that, for how old he is and how lost he gets in games. I think it's physicality. He can't play the Prem anymore. He needs to go back to Italy.
I think there's an element of him not necessarily realizing how much he's aged.
Yeah.
And so he's still getting into positions thinking, oh, I can recover. Bro, you don't have it. You don't have the pace to recover. You don't have the legs to recover anymore.
Well, to be honest, when he started at Chelsea, he didn't really have it. He had Conte covering, so he was able to kind of slot into where he needed to be because Conte was cleaning it up, and he was able to play a little deeper as a result. But he was never sleight of foot by any means. And the reason why I asked that is because I'm watching y'all's highlights right now. And I'm of the opinion that your team takes on the personality of your manager first, but then your captain second. And
great, we're casual as hell. Awesome, boys.
And I appreciate what Jorginho did for Chelsea. No question. Did he score against us as a Chelsea player for Arsenal? Yes, he did. I remember it still.
Hey, yeah, but Frankie daggered us with City. No.
I'm saying he was playing for Chelsea and he scored for Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. I do. Yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
So once ago?
Huh?
I said once ago as a joke.
It was Agent Georgie it was 00 Georgie.
00 Georgie, yes. Yes.
But my point being is
you know who he's working for at this point.
He's the Italian mob, man. You don't know.
My point being though is you're talking about Rice, which I understand why he's not. I understand completely why he's not a captain. He will be eventually. I totally understand that. But I just look at it and I'm like, there are players, and I know that the full-time captain is Odegaard, but then that's also an issue because you've seen the way he's performed since he got that contract. Now, I think he said he played a little bit better here recently. But that said, I think the team takes on that mentality, and I worry that you keep putting Jorginho as captain, and it's going to cause not internal problems by any means, but it changes who you are. He's not somebody who's attacking. He's going to be somebody who sits. And I don't know. I think it's a bad fit. I really do. And I keep being absolutely confused that he keeps getting the armband. That's just how I feel.
I feel that I don't like it very much, but apparently he's beloved. Apparently and that's kind of the vibe at Arsenal, right? With our current crop of players, it's like this family kind of team vibe going on, and I think because he's so liked by everybody that's like the angle that Arteta has with the going with the experience as well. Because for me, why doesn't Gabriel Magalhaes get the armband? Been there, he's in the team week in and week out, leader on the team, leader on the back line. He's got the longevity. So I would, in Martin's absence, I would have given it to Gabriel. But as far as Martin's concerned, this season he's been carrying a knock. Apparently,
oh really?
I've been carrying a hip thing all season.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
And then
explains a lot.
And then this week, the reason he wasn't in the team versus Burnley was because he got a concussion in training. Apparently. Now that came out today.
Battleaxe is in training now.
So header, baby.
That came out today. So I don't know. It seems weird that that's just coming out today to me. But whatever, But yeah, I mean, I just think that Jorginho doesn't do enough, man. He gets exposed too much, and I think in the City game, he seemed to play well, right? But there wasn't any space. He didn't have to be super mobile. He didn't there wasn't a whole lot of space. That game never opened up. He never had to turn around and run back trying to chase Doku or Holland or anyone, Silva, whatever, So I think the same in this game, the same versus Sevilla. In the games that he looks decent, we're either playing terrible opposition because, let's face it, Sevilla were awful and Burnley were not much better. Burnley's
who wins that game, Burnley or Sevilla, if they play?
Sevilla. Trust me. Their only outlet was on the wings, was getting it down the wings, and we just switched off for their goal. Somehow Tomiyasu gets out muscled by a 19-year-old little gremlin-looking guy. Koleosho, I got a lot of respect for him. He's probably been their best player this season, to be honest with you. Koleosho for Burnley's probably been one of their best players this season.
Yeah.
But I think that when you look at this game as a whole, 2 of our goals were on corner kicks.
Yep.
We didn't create much. And once again, it's because there's a hole in our midfield. There's a hole in our progression. And when Rice is having to progress the ball and play the creative pass, so Rice has to come back, receive the ball from the defense. He then has to turn around and move the ball up 60 yards by himself. And then we're counting on him to find the incisive pass.
Yeah.
This is what are we doing? This is not sustainable.
Nope.
This is not sustainable. Okay. We have had success. I think we had success specifically in this game at times with Trossard linking up with Martinelli and Saka on the wings. I definitely think Trossard had a good game. I think he should be the starter moving forward. I think that he does more. I just like his style more. I think it fits with our possession better. And I think in the absence of Martin Odegaard, in the absence of a real creative force in the midfield, I think his dropping deep really kind of papered over that a little bit. And it was good. Maybe that's something we can, give a pat on the back to Arteta for. Maybe he knew that was coming, and so got Trossard in there, had a good game. So that was good to see. But Fabio Vieira, whom I've been very scathing of.
That's your favorite player, man.
Favorite player.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're bringing this up because I just noticed something while watching the highlights. But go on.
You can go and look at my my match reaction from this game, and you can see my thoughts on Fabio Vieira, because why does nobody want this 8 spot? Nobody wants it. Kai Havertz doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. Fabio Vieira clearly doesn't want it. Smith Rowe can't stay. He can't stay healthy to save his life. Partey couldn't stay healthy to save his life. Nobody wants to play in this 8 role. Now, for me, it would be Declan Rice, but that would require having Partey behind him. Hell, I'll take El Neni behind him at this point. We need to figure something out here. Look, let's play Tomiyasu left back and let Zinchenko play in the midfield.
He could.
If you are that desperate to get Kai Havertz in this team, let him play forward and put Trossard in the midfield.
Yeah.
Something. Because it's just not working. We should be destroying Burnley. We should be smashing Burnley. Yeah. Not winning because they're bad at defending corners.
Right.
I mean, that helps too.
That helps.
Definitely helps.
It certainly helps, and we've definitely improved. We've scored more goals on corner kicks than anyone this season, right? So that's I'm glad that we're doing that. And it was fortunate that they're crap defending on corner kicks, but we didn't create a whole lot from open play. We definitely found a tactical tweak at halftime, and Martinelli was bombing down the left. Trossard was getting involved down the left as well, and so we were really attacking down the left, and we were finding some success. But we have nothing through the midfield. We with Kai Havertz in there and Jorginho in there, we got nothing through the midfield. We gotta try something. We have to try something else, because Jesus out till Christmas, Partey's out till Christmas. Apparently Odegaard hasn't gone to travel with Norway. He hasn't traveled with the Norway team.
Yeah, a lot of guys didn't go to national team this break.
So hopefully we can rest. We can recover. I know that's not an option for Saka because Southgate won't ever not pick him.
Our boy, yeah.
But Jesus is being assessed by Brazil, so maybe we can get them back. But I feel like
that you don't play Odegaard. I'm not Odegaard. I mean Zinchenko in the midfield, because he's literally a midfielder. That's what he is.
Arsenal, he likes to play right back.
But you could play Tomiyasu.
He's left back, but we can play. Tomiyasu's a better defender anyway.
Yeah, and you play Zinchenko in the midfield.
He's a better defender anyway.
I don't get that one.
I don't know why we haven't tried that. That's one thing we did.
I think they're honestly scared of Tomiyasu getting burned on the outside.
He's got pace.
Yeah,
he's fine. Yeah, he's fine, bro. Tomiyasu's solid. Don't get it twisted.
I think Zinchenko's faster than Tomiyasu.
Yeah,
and play left mid, or if you have him playing,
and have him be defensive. Yeah, tell him to rotate back to that spot.
Yeah,
or track.
And the thing is, Arteta
he might be like me, man. Once you get in that midfield, he's not coming back. Like he might be like me, man. Once you put me anywhere above that 18, I'm not coming back. That's your job. But good.
Arteta was at City when they converted Zinchenko from a midfielder to a defender, so he knows he can play there. I don't know, man.
Well, I wanted to point out. So I'm watching and I just saw the Fabio Vieira red card, and they cut to Rice, and he looks like just exasperated. Like, did he really just do this? And I mean, I'm not saying that Rice is frustrated by any means. I think he's enjoying life at Arsenal for various reasons. But, the supporting cast is the biggest thing. And, not to bring Chelsea up, but one of the things that was so big about getting Caicedo was because Enzo was frustrated that he had no one around him to take pressure off of him that he could play well with. And that's why Chelsea went balls to the wall to get Caicedo, because they were worried that Enzo was going to want to leave. And I don't think Rice is going to do that. He likes being in London, so on and so forth. And he's playing for a good, a great club. But you got to surround people around him that are actually worth his, his talent. I think
pairing Kai Havertz was a justice to Rice. I don't agree with that. I do agree with you and Jake and Patrick on that. 100%. I don't think. Again, that's not the toppings you want to put on that pizza, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Havertz. Like, I want him to do good. I really do, man. I want him, but I can't. Like, I'm cheering for him. I'm cheering for the team. I want him to do good for the team and everything. I just don't see it.
Do you not rather play Fabio? At least Fabio Vieira looks like he tried. He might be bad, but at least he tries, man.
This year, what he's done in this game pisses me off to no end. To no end whatsoever. That's why I was going on about nobody wants the 8 spot, man. Yeah. They've literally brought in a duck in a shirt to play your position. How crap do you have to be to not be able to keep Kai Havertz out of the team? I could keep Kai Havertz out of the team.
I don't know, man. I think Kai Havertz over you.
What in the hell is he doing?
Some crossroads deals, man.
Fabio Vieira, this is his moment. This was his moment. That 30 minutes that he was given versus Burnley was so hugely important. He could have moved himself up so far in the order. Odegaard's out. Partey's out. We're bare bones in there.
Or he can't play every game. He just cannot do it.
So if Fabio comes in, because Havertz was hooked. Havertz was so shit that they took him off. Yep. That's the first time I've seen Arteta literally take him off early, because he's, by his literal basement standards, he's had a shocker. And you come in with the perfect opportunity to finally cement it and be like, look, I deserve this run. Odegaard's out. Get out. How is Havertz still in this team? Fabio should be pounding on Arteta's door. What are you doing? But you know what? Instead, you come out there.
We'll see you in 3 games.
And now, bro, if I'm Arteta, Fabio Vieira doesn't make the bench again. When Smith Rowe's healthy, when Partey's healthy, bro, you're playing with the reserves. That was a disgrace.
You're gonna be Lukaku. You're gonna go play with the U19.
Man, with Jadon Sancho vibes, bro. That was a disgrace. How are you gonna do that when you've literally? This is your opportunity, bro, to come out here and be like, "Look, I deserve this shirt." I deserve this spot. I deserve the minutes. You should be subbing me off in the 80th for Kai Havertz to come on. This is you got this backwards. But instead, you come on and be like, look, hey, Arteta, have fun. You get to pick Havertz for the next. Hey, Arsenal fans, have fun with Havertz for the next 3 games.
Yeah.
God, my God, man, I could. It's really what's got me so upset about it is the fact that Arteta is going to stick with Havertz.
Oh yeah.
Now we're stuck with Havertz, and he's.
Well, that's the thing about Havertz. And we discussed this a while back. When he was with Chelsea, and then once he made the transfer to Arsenal, and the questions, of course, are what's Arteta doing, this, that, and the other. And it was like, well, maybe he puts him in the midfield, but the thing is, he doesn't work. He doesn't work at all. He never worked at Chelsea. He was good coming off of running off the ball. But other than that, he's not closing anyone down. That's just not his style. And he needs to make it his style, mind you. And it's kind of going back to the whole Rice thing. Like, you're leaving the guy out to dry at this point. And while you're seeing immense talent, you're not seeing the upper end of that immense talent, because he's got to cover for so many people. And, I think that it's unfair to Rice right now that he's got to play with a Fabio Vieira. He's got to play with a Kai Havertz, or even a Jorginho. Like, it feels like it's just a hodgepodge, nothing that actually flows. I mean, Agent Jorginho, that's the best way to put it. If he's the one that told, Arteta to bring him over, that's all it's got to be at this point, because what Arteta is going to continue to ask him to do, that's not Havertz. And,
it's so unbelievably frustrating watching this, knowing that we should be miles better.
Most definitely, 100%.
We had an incredible season last season, and we got all of our hopes up, got all our expectations up, and now we've gone backwards. Or sideways, maybe. Well, we bought an absolute world-class, give it a couple years, but we've an absolute class midfielder who's definitely elevated our team. But then we've gone 2 steps backwards.
I would say Declan would end up, Declan's a world class. Declan is an N'Golo Kante. He is a generational midfielder that can play. He can play every position in the midfield. He can cover 2 positions at once. He's 2 guys in one.
Yeah, world class gets thrown around too much. That's why I went back. I went back on it, and you have to have longevity to hit world class. Conte had the longevity. He had trophies for a long time.
The only reason Declan doesn't is because he played for West Ham, but he has done.
Rice is 22 years old, man. He's 24 years old or something like that. He's young. He just needs longevity.
West Ham for 4 years running.
I'm not arguing with you. I agree that he's gonna get there, but it's not quite yet. Go ahead, Lewis.
So, I'm gonna spin the positive, because I am a positive person. I think. Now, I know this is unfair, and I know, Jake, this is not what you want, but you said this, and Patrick, you brought the point which made it fit in my head. Well, you're asking Declan Rice to carry the load. Well, he's done that before at West Ham. And what they're going to do is they're
champions of Europe, baby. Declan's a monster.
Arsenal knows that the goal now, and you pointed it out, Jake, and I think this matters, they're going to build the team around him. Yep. And I think that's your shift, because now you're like, well, this guy, if we can make sure we build guys around him, then everything works. And they're not going to do West Ham, because obviously Arsenal's a more attractive place to go to, but you have players around him. And so once you're healthy, You send Partey away, even though, I mean, it would benefit if he could stay healthy and play with him.
30, 40
you
mil.
Send Partey away, and you get the Douglas Luiz, because I see they're in for him.
Yeah, I saw y'all were in for him too. Yeah,
him in there, and then now you can highlight where those guys can play off each other. So I actually wouldn't be stressed about it, because one, you already know Declan Rice can handle it and it's going to be temporary. This is not going to be a long-term thing. You just need him to hold on until you get to the January window. You bring a guy in, and then you go from there, because Partey is going to be gone. You say you're going to AFCON, we can go to AFCON and Juve or wherever else it is you want to go. Give us our 40, 50 mil, and then we'll put that on the Luis thing, because you know you're going to get robbed over him, because they're going to make you pay out the nose. But it'll be worth it because of just what you're going to get in the security there. Odegaard will be back normal, and then you'll get that midfield that you're looking for, because Jesus will be back. And I just think you just got to make it through this period right here, where it's just a little bit of inconsistency there. I mean, you're letting guys write their own obituary, so let them. I mean, let them write it and let them be sent away, because what will happen is basically what Partey did, which I'm shocked he said he wants. Now, I mean, it's hearsay that he wants to go, but if he really wants to go, he's lost it. He's lost it, because he literally, there's no easier team to slot right in, where he just sits there and he pings the ball back and forth, and he lets Odegaard and Rice go. And you want to go somewhere else?
And work?
Two fingers, homie.
No, you know where he's going to go? He's going to go to the Saudi League, baby. He's done.
Yeah.
Getting that bag.
Yeah.
Speaking
Well, I hear
of
you.
bags.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. At the end of the day, it's a good 3 points to pick up. Expected 3 points, but yeah, you definitely still have to go out there and do it. Definitely handle business. Still at the top. All in all, I definitely, dive deep and nitpick and look at things, that I think will affect our long-term success. But taking a step back, we're right where we want to be. We're still up there, 1 point off of City. Liverpool are ahead by a single goal. I'm still really excited about the season. I think we're looking good in Champions League. It's an international break. We'll get some people healthy, rested up, and we go again. It's Brentford Brentford away after the international break, so that's not going to be an easy game. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. And all in all, to have these issues, for this to be our biggest issues, and we're still top of the table, right there up at it next, 1 point behind City. Can't complain too much. Right? Yeah, I'm happy. I as much as I have beef with Havertz and Vieira and our midfield situation and our injuries, I'm happy, man. We're flying. We're still flying. Right. We're still right up there at the top.
And you should be. You should be. Yeah. It's more so, like you said, the longevity and whatnot. And it's also, y'all took such a huge step last year that you kind of hate seeing that you haven't fully taken even a half step forward from that huge step. See, because of the talent that's...
We may have, though. We may have, though, haven't we?
I disagree with that.
We have, though, because what's the one thing this season that we have markedly, definitely, just by the eye test, improved on? We're way more solid defensively.
Yeah, that's true.
But in addition to that,
but you also know that I said that William Saliba is like, I mean, without him, y'all were shambles on defense.
I would almost bet money on this. I wouldn't quite bet money on
I would, because we lost Tomiyasu. Losing Tomiyasu and Saliba in the same game cost us the league.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Losing
you can go back and look at the stats. Your defensive stats meant a total 180.
I won't say that.
You weren't invited to this part of the conversation, were you?
I won't say that, but I will say, and I get Patrick's direction, but I just really look at it and say I don't think Arsenal's regressed, because
I don't think they're regressing either. I think they're the same.
But even then, when you kind of said the progress feels slow. I don't think it is. For one, they're in Champions League, and they're impressive in Champions League. They've shown up for games where before they get a 2-0 lead, they were throwing those away. They're not doing that anymore. And you have to understand, once you're here and you're going here, Well, I mean, there's but so much progress you can make when you're at the top. So that's like, for
example, you can go invincible again. What are you doing? What are you doing?
For example, and I'm gonna use the Haaland example because, for example, they're like, well, Haaland, it's what is 2-3 weeks ago? He's horrible. He leads the league in goals and he has 12 goals.
Do you see him get hooked at halftime? Bum.
But that's the point. You look at it, you can't be and replicate what you are. For one, nobody expected Arsenal to be where they were. They expect them to be good, but not where they were last year. So to compare them to where they were last year, we're not surprised by it. They're top. They're in the top 3 because they're supposed to be there. So I mean, at that point, you can't not progress. A decline, which we all agree they haven't, is for them not to be where they are. If they weren't there, that would be an issue. Because even in addition to Chelsea was a train wreck last year.
Oh my God!
For you to show any consistency that you've shown right now,
to score 4 goals in a game is more than like Potter ever did. Ever.
Yeah, the environment. The environment at Stamford Bridge right now is better than it was all season last season.
Right.
So
all season long.
You got to take where you are, and you take the small incremental things. I agree. And I know you weren't like slagging them off, Patrick, but I think Arsenal look more solid this year than they did last year. They just really they were riding that energy of like, we're not supposed to be here. They have the energy of we're supposed to be here. We're going to maintain, and we know what it takes to maintain, because that is what I would say cost them the title, is they didn't know how to be there.
Well,
I think that was more of an issue
process. So I mean,
but even then, but I mean, they have players out now, and they still are playing well. It's knowing how to play without
like a totally different level compared to most of the players they have out.
But like, for example, Partey, right? We already know if Partey was in the team, if Odegaard was playing well, they would be levels above. So I mean, we're not saying that Saliba is better than Odegaard. Odegaard is the heartbeat of the team. He's not playing well, and he's not there. So I think Odegaard being out is a bigger miss. And I mean, it's for consistency and chemistry, because you got a new guy in there. And you need him to sort of weave the magic he does. He's not there, and they're still playing well. So I think it matters that they have a consistency, because this one, and we questioned this before, the consistency in the manager. Even though he's been who he is, he's been consistent in that. Stubborn as he wants to be, he's been consistent. And so you have to give him credit for where he is, because now outside of playing City, he's not trying to be anyone else. He's being him. And so I think they're better this year for that. Yeah. I think this year's team would smash last year's team. They beat him in the face.
I can agree with that. I think that a lot of Arsenal fans get a little bit carried away with we're not as fluid. We're not as, I heard a conversation on the Forever Arsenal podcast on AFTV about how the atmosphere in the ground is not necessarily as balls to the wall excited as it was every game last season. Well, last season it was because we were going balls to the wall. The team was going balls to the wall. The team was all out from the word go. Let's get after it. Let's go. Blah, blah, blah.
And now it's really low.
Yeah, and this year it's you're not going to score on us. We are going to control this game. And it's 1-0 to the Arsenal is what it is. That's the strategy, is we are just going to be in complete control. We're never going to look like we're going to get scored. We're going to be comfortable the whole time. And I think that, and Lewis, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but when City, because City have been labeled boring.
We're boring
over the years.
I love it.
And you know what?
We win.
Y'all win everything. All the time, every season, win. So yeah, I'm with you. Lewis. If Arsenal are boring and we win every game 1-0, and I'm lifting that trophy at the end of the season, that ain't gonna be boring.
Jose Mourinho won every game. We won an entire Prem. 0-1, baby.
1-0.
0-1.
Yeah. Well, that's because you only gave 15 goals that whole season.
Yeah. Whole season.
There used to be a chant about boring Chelsea, because that's everybody's like, oh, Chelsea's boring. Okay, we were winning.
Yeah, what about those? What about those trophies? Lifting those trophies wasn't boring, was it? Yeah,
exactly.
Championships, baby.
No, yeah. I'm not. I don't want you to think that I'm like being overly critical of Arsenal by any means. I think y'all are extremely good. I just my thing was and other than Jury and Timber, you have everybody that you purchased in the summer, and I thought that there might be a little bit more of a further step forward, but. I also think that being without Timber is a big loss. He's fantastic. He's going to be absolutely a stud for y'all. It's just trying to figure out that midfield. And I hate it.
I think having him will help.
Yeah, I agree.
Think having Timber will help a lot. It might free up Zinchenko. You never know.
Is he coming back this season?
Man, I've read a couple things that said he's like ahead and he's, he might be back in training, in January or end of December, early January. But I'm like, man, don't rush this guy.
So you're not counting him for this season?
I'm not counting him for this season. If he comes back in March, great. But if not, whatever. But yeah,
rush that kind of talent. I mean,
yeah, of course not. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't want to rush it at all. No, for sure.
He's really good. But yeah, no, I mean, I just, you want Odegaard to start playing to his level. Maybe he starts to do that, and it may actually kind of settle that midfield too. It's just right now, it's like a revolving door of Partey's not available, so you go to Jorginho. Well, Jorginho can get beat on the counter, so he's kind of in no man's land. Havertz does nothing. Fabio Vieira goes crazy and studs up on somebody, and you're just like, there's no consistency, and the only consistency is Rice. And the thing is the man's doing everything he can, and he needs some help. And
I agree.
100%. I think that's where y'all take that next step for sure, is when you get him some help.
I agree 100%. And I hope they do. I think they'll figure it out for sure. And I think we'll be just fine moving forward. But yeah, speaking of moving forward, we will head on down to Molineux for just a wonderful result early morning on Saturday. Not necessarily a wonderful game. No. This one. I was shocked that right out the rip, Wolves are playing an offsides trap in their 6-yard box. What? It's the second minute of the game.
Yeah, what were they doing, man?
And Kulu overlaps. It was Pedro Porro overlaps Kulichevsky. And when you watch the replay, not only are they not tracking Brennan Johnson, he's just coming in out of nowhere. No one's even beginning to look for him. And secondly, all of their defenders step up. Bro, you're in your 6-yard box. No wonder the near post run scored on you. You're all running in the wrong direction.
Yeah, we used to last week.
What? And so it's happened. And then, I mean, Spurs were decent for the next 15 minutes or so. They were all right, I guess. But it's telling that the highlight package that NBC put together was the 3rd-minute goal.
There's nothing.
And then the next highlight is the 85th minute when Sarabia comes on the field. That's the next highlight. There's literally like nothing else in between there.
3 minutes.
Yeah, because I jumped on the game when you, I think you text something about the second half, and that's when I started watching. I'm like, what is this?
Because I was saying Wolves are effing this up, man.
Yeah.
That's what I was texting in the chat. I was like, what are Wolves doing? Because Spurs were terrible, just like I expected them to be. That they were playing Sarr in the Madison role, and he looked completely like a fish out of water, just a ghost. He looked like Kai Havertz in there, man. That was a Kai Havertz performance, is what that was, and that's saying something right there. And I mean, it wasn't even his fault. That's just not his position. He's just not that guy, And so Wolves dominated the ball, but so sloppy in midfield. I mean, in the final third. Cunha is just the number 12. I think his name is Mateus. Cunha for Wolves is infuriating. He's infuriating, man. And he pissed me off something awful in this game because the amount of good work you do to be that bad in front of goal is astounding. It's astounding. Come on, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I'm done. I'm over it. You know, y'all need to get somebody else in there because this man couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Like I'm telling you, it's bad news, Bears.
No splash.
You know, none. You know, no. And they blanketed Wang Hee-chan, so he wasn't really in this one. You know, and I just thought that Wolves did so much good work with nothing on the end of it. And then when Spurs started subbing their subs, you know, because they're already playing subs, because everyone else they're either suspended or injured. So when they start bringing on the likes of Brian Gill and Giovanni Lo Celso.
Oh, they have Lo Celso still?
Wow. Exactly. Still. You know, they're bringing on these guys that have been there for 19 years. Still. You know, you got Jose Mourinho signed these guys. You know, like come on, dude. You know, and so I'm like, Wolves are really effing this up, man.
Yeah.
And then, dude comes in. We haven't seen this man since the World Cup, where he had a decent World Cup with Spain. Sarabia comes in, man, sounding like a Aladdin character. and
he delivered out the bottle.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Take a bow.
This is a goal.
That's why he got on the thumbnail. That's why he's on the thumbnail for this video, because I was like, this touch and goal. First of all, where's Eric Dyer?
I mean, he was the joke before you started the game.
Yeah. Eric Dyer was not in the shot. He's left his man Davies high and dry, bro. he might as well be on the sideline with a juice box, because you're not even anywhere close. You know, and
he's still catching his breath from chasing
from chasing Jackson. Yeah, dude, and the touch, man, and the finish.
It's just so clean.
What a goal, man! That's one of the goals of the season so far, man.
It is.
That was gorgeous, and then he gets the assist for the game winner. And I knew you could see it when the first goal goes in. Wolves are like, we're gonna win this game.
Yep.
You could see it in the mindset, in the way they attacked and they came out. And they just went up another level after that goal. They're like, they're on the ropes. We've got them.
Several chances. Like, I mean, they were looking good. I mean, it was what, like a 5 minute spell of just
piling it on. And I was so happy. Like I've literally never celebrated a Wolves goal. Like I'm celebrating Chelsea goals like I've won the cup. I'm celebrating Wolves goals like we've won the cup.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like I've never, like I mean, dude, that was I mean, I think a draw would have been a fair result. It was a poor game, but I was really happy to see it end the way it did. A wonderful final 5 minutes, and Spurs are staring down it a bit because their next 3 fixtures are not pretty.
That's minus 50. They're going to go minus 15 after such a hot start.
Yo, there's a really, like, not even a small chance. There's a hefty chance that Spurs are going to drop the next 4 games. Yeah, it's Villa. It's Villa, then it's
18 points. Holy.
Yeah, it's Villa 12. And then City and then Newcastle, I think.
So they bottled their run worse than we bottled ours. I'm happy with that. I can live with that.
So, yeah. So no Romero for Villa and City.
Or Madison.
No, he. This was his first game.
Yeah, it'll be his first
of his ban.
So they should have
No, they won't have. They won't have. Yeah, Romero's.
He got a 3-game ban. So the Wolves was his first game of that ban. Udogie missed the Wolves game because he got a 1-game ban. So he'll be back for Villa.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Madison and Van der Ven are out.
Yeah.
Matty got 3 months, didn't he?
Yeah, they're out long term. So it's at Villa.
Yeah.
Or no, I think that's at home.
It's at Spurs. No,
I think that's at home. So
does it matter? It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
They were crap versus Forest away, but they haven't lost in 13 games at home. So you just don't know what you're gonna get. But it's gonna be tough for Spurs regardless. But But speaking of Aston Villa, we can move on to their game versus Fulham. It was at Villa Park, as we've just said. The home form is quite decent, and Fulham are bad. Fulham are struggling this season. What's going on with Jedi Robinson, man? It's like his 3rd own goal this season, and they're all the same. He's running back towards his goal. The ball comes across, and he just makes a debacle of it into his own net.
Just Harry Maguire's it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I remember Pep talking about him saying he was a good player.
He just wants to score.
And I mean, he's an American.
I'm a fan, man.
He's an American playing in the Premier League, getting starting every week in and week out in the Premier League. Of course, as American. Well, you're not X because you're a traitor and an England fan. But as fans of the U.S. men's national team, I'm a fan, of course. But he's had a poor season, man. Fulham have struggled in general.
But he did get an assist for a goal, didn't he?
He said you're a traitor.
He does have an assist.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was a tap-in the 93rd minute.
Hey, man, an assist is an assist.
A foul.
Well, it was a Jimenez goal, of all people. Like, it didn't matter at all. So I think that Villa, man, are going under the radar, maybe a little bit. And
they want a European spot.
Oh, they're going to get it.
They want to be playing. Yeah.
They'll finish ahead of you.
They might.
I love your bias, dude. I love your heart. I love your heart for your team. I love your love for your team, buddy, but they are better than you. They will finish above you.
They might.
They will. Trust me. I'll put money on it right now. If you want to take that bet, I'll put some money on it because I firmly believe that they will do it. And we got Villa soon. Arsenal go to Villa Park soon as well. It's like our fifth game out.
Unai's revenge.
If you look at the last time we went to Villa Park, it took Jorginho hitting the ball off Emi Martinez's head in the 92nd minute. And right before that, what nobody seems to remember is that Aaron Ramsdale makes the save of the season.
Yep.
Off an Ollie Watkins breakaway. So we just edged that game. We just barely won that, and that was last season. They're better. I'm worried about that one. Villa is a strong team, man, and they run rampant down the wings. Lots of overlapping. John McGinn is having an absolutely fantastic season. Douglas Luiz, all over the pitch, they're having great seasons. Diaby, Watkins.
If they sell Luiz, it's a different team, though.
Yeah, I don't think they will, though. They want $100 million for him. Ain't nobody paying $100 million for him. They want 100 mil balls.
You don't know that.
That's Caicedo money, baby.
Chelsea. Todd Bowley's like,
100 mil, I got him.
100 mil ain't nothing. I got that.
That's the min bid for any player I'm looking at.
He's just itching to buy somebody in January.
It's like, it's gone too long since I've written the check.
It's been almost 6 months.
Yeah, man. Oh my goodness. But yeah, expected win for Villa. Fulham definitely in trouble. I feel like it's week in, week out. We keep saying no Mitro is a massive issue for Fulham. Yep. And Villa's still riding high. Like I say, 13 games Man, I was listening to DR Sports this morning, and they were bringing up the fact that Villa hasn't lost at home in 13 league matches. And somebody goes, "Is that a record?" And I was like, bro, what league have you been in?
You ever heard
City's on like 27 games unbeaten at home or some shit. Like what league have you been watching? Yeah, like what league have you been watching, dude? Like,
did Chelsea not hold that record?
They do.
Yeah.
I think you do, yeah.
34, right?
It was like 52 or something.
Mourinho's bridge was the fortress of fortresses, you know. So but I'm just saying currently right now, City like, okay, Villa are great at home, and 13 is a good number, but come on, man. Come on.
Record.
That's not even close. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here with that. But
the funny thing about that is you had Arsenal who went invincible. So obviously it was more than 13.
Right. Yeah, come on.
You know.
Math is hard, guys.
Math is not
for everybody. I was told there would be no math.
Math is difficult. I didn't sign up for this.
There's no math. It's ones and zeros, baby. It's ones and
zeros. Well, speaking of teams up there doing good up at the top, Liverpool smash Brentford.
As they should. Shocker, actually. I thought it would be pretty close.
No, this scoreline is flattering.
The scoreline is way flattering for this game. I watched this game. I felt at the 2-0, it was unfair to Brentford. The last goal was just pouring it on for Liverpool. This game was very much so in...
It was hotly contested for sure.
Yeah, for a large majority of
it was one of those where it was a real good contest, and then Liverpool score.
They just outclassed.
Yeah, and then it was
the difference between $100 million players versus
and then it was a really good contest for a long time, and Liverpool score again.
And it's and just take the heart out of them.
Yeah. But I mean, if Mbomo scores and levels it at 1-1 on that breakaway, credit Allison though, man.
Allison Becker makes a save, bro.
Bro's got to be one of the best keepers.
Yeah. He is
in a long time in this league, man.
It's twice this weekend on Saturday and Sunday where somebody said Allison was the best Premier League keeper, which I was like, what? That's not possible.
I mean, he's definitely one of one of the best we've seen in a while. I think now.
It takes the best one, is not even signed because Manchester United don't know how to keep a team together. Like the best goalkeeper in the league is gone.
So. I can't wait till we get to the United one.
I'm watching United right now. Actually,
Onana had a great game versus Luton Town. No, but I think if Ederson isn't in the league, it's Allison all day long.
Yep.
I think those two are definitely the tip top goalkeepers. They might both vie for best in the world right now. I know Courtois is still doing it as well.
Brazil, man.
They're barring injury.
Ter Stegen might be in that conversation.
Actually, Jake, you might be right because Courtois is just injured. Like he's not even in the conversation. It's like Neuer. He's not in the conversation because he has both of his legs broken during a skiing accident. I don't know what Courtois did to get injured, but
I think he tore an ACL.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did during that whole knee skiing. Like everyone tore their ACL.
I think Liverpool, man, they're quietly doing it. If you look at the table, they've lost. The only game they lost, they were cheated out of, just like Arsenal. So I mean, quietly on the podcast here, I guess, because we don't have a Liverpool fan as yet. But yeah, man, Mo Salah. What can you say about Mo Salah? Absolute. Legend.
Remember the last 200th goal? Salah was going to have a good next game.
Oh, but yeah, he's so again. You want to talk about open men and just absolutely turning off the second goal for Liverpool. Honestly, Brentford deserved. This is Patrick. Actually, no, I'll agree with you, man. Right here in this 5-minute spell, Brentford were up for it the entire game. Played them, and this one play where they turn off because they thought the ball was out of play. So everyone just gives up and doesn't play to the whistle. They get absolutely punished for it. Leaving Mo Salah, I don't know. I guess they thought Kai Havertz was playing for it. Like, I don't know who Cucurella on the back post type unmarking. Just wide
Shocking.
open. And he gets
Shocking.
a header. Mo Salah is one of the smallest dudes in the league, should not be getting free headers in the box. And
he was surprised. Yeah. He was surprised how wide open he was. He's like, wait a second. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's looking like Richarlison with the pigeon head out there.
Well, I have to make an announcement. I am going to be putting Mo Salah on my fantasy team after the international break.
Man,
so Liverpool can stop.
Way late on that one. So Liverpool can stop scoring? Is that what's going to happen? Please. If that's how that works, you need to put Noodles, Jota, put them all on there. Put them all on your fantasy team, man. Oh my goodness.
Doku on there, he gets a 0.
Nice. Yeah, but the week before he's got 4 assists and a goal.
Patrick's fantasy.
I pick up Ward Prowse, and then he doesn't do anything for like 3 weeks, and so I drop him.
And then he gets an assist.
And then he gets an assist, and I'm just.
So all of Patrick's luck has been filtered into the predictions league, not his fantasy league. It's just one.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking, hey, that's a great little intro to this right here. Patrick, I need you to take a week off, man.
It's not that far.
I got two scores right this week, and I'm still down 11 points.
Well, you scored 11. I scored 10.
12 points or whatever. Yeah. Oh, yay. I gained a point.
Hey, I'm only 2 points back from you. Is that right?
Don't say things like that. It's 7. It's 7. It's a 7-point gap. You watch yourself. No, but yeah, I think the Liverpool are right in it. Right there in it. They're defending, quietly. Best defense in the league.
Virgil had a game.
Joint best defense in the league, I should say, with a certain wonderful Willie Saliba led side. So they're definitely defending better than I expected. Indo actually, I thought, quietly had a good game. Possibly could have been sent off for the same thing that 3 other people were sent off with in the last 6 days. So why am I expecting consistency from the refs?
Because you're not a realist.
Yeah.
You need to be a realist.
It's my fault. I'm the asshole. Yeah.
It's your fault, sir.
Yeah, I need to grow up. I need to grow up, Anthony Taylor. Yeah, okay.
Stop it.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely right. So when I get demoted for next week down to the lower podcast, I'll make a giant gaffe on that one and I'll get promoted back up.
Now you understand, sir.
Yes. Good. I'll make a shit call in a championship game and then get promoted. Makes a terrible decision in a lower league game and gets promoted back because it was Chelsea. Taylor has to ref Chelsea.
They're like, Chelsea City's coming up. All right, Anthony Taylor.
Who's going to ruin this match the best? Anthony Taylor. Yeah. Oh my good God. But
call him up.
Yeah, Liverpool will get the 3-0, perhaps a little bit of a flattering scoreline, but they roll on. 3 points in the bag at Anfield. We'll move on to a team who I'm worried about.
Brighton, bro. Slipping.
Brighton.
Slippery slope.
They look bad, man.
Just missed a whole host of chances in this. Just missed chance after chance after chance. Adingra scores a fantastic solo goal, and then they just cannot find the net. They took their shooting boots off after that and couldn't.
For Sheffield here.
Massive. And I think that the red card in this one is super soft. Once again.
Frosty, man. Windy soft serve. Just.
This one, man, I don't even like. Yeah. It's kind of back and forth. I think that
I've seen a lot of orange cards given this last week. Come on.
I think this is one of those that if it's called the other way on the field, they don't overturn it.
Right.
And it's like, I get that Brighton felt hard done by and give the goal 2 minutes later, give the goal 3 minutes later or whatever, and an own goal no less, and they just completely capitulated, man. It's like, and then surprisingly enough, Sheffield were on top for the rest of the game. Like Brighton never recovered, and just ruined a whole host of missed chances. At the end of the day, this is the Premier League, and even though it's the bottom team,
you gotta finish, man.
You gotta finish. You just gotta finish them off, and it cost them big time in the end. And De Zerbi was not happy.
No,
not happy.
I don't want to be at practice. Like, don't want.
Well, he was pissed at the refs. Did you hear what he said after the game in the press conference? He says, I don't like 80% of English referees.
Hey, me neither, man. That's fair.
Not going to do him any favors.
That's conservative. That's conservative.
Fair. That's fair.
That's a conservative estimate. I feel like I don't like any. I feel like I don't like 100%, 110% of the English referees.
You don't manage your English league team.
No. I can say that without getting a fine, because the FA aren't worried about what I think, but
Mike Dean was just funny because I think he actually hated Tottenham. Legitimately, I think he hated Tottenham.
I understand.
He's a normal human being.
He favored United
I get that
so much, though.
Yeah, that's gross. He did.
Favored United.
He did love United, but Brighton are in trouble, man, and it's not looking good. That's 1 win in 7 Premier League matches. And this one's glaring, being to Sheffield. But credit Sheffield, man, in those yellow and red kits, getting a massive point at the Amex. One of those you definitely did not expect. And it'll be a big one moving forward, of course, as they will be.
In a week?
Who do Brighton play next?
Who knew? Who do Brighton play next? You.
Oh, they're losing that game. I'm always picking me. Yeah, that's right. I thought we played Newcastle.
Well, they play the Bridge.
I thought we played Newcastle, then Brighton.
Yeah. Fair enough. I don't know who's wedged in between then.
Yeah. They're losing both those games. Don't care. That's my prediction next week.
It's gonna be tough. But I think De Zerbi will pull it around. I think they'll be all right. Injuries again, of course, and dealing with that European schedule as well. Thursday night games in the Europa League. Yeah, but I think they'll just be all right. But speaking of just barely,
they go to the City Ground for Forest, by the way.
There you go. That's not going to be easy. But speaking of just barely getting over the line,
this is disgusting.
Manchester United
dominated
yet again.
No.
With the that's like their 5th 1-0 of the season.
And that's all that you need.
They beat Palace 1-0. They beat Burnley 1-0. They beat Sheffield by 1 goal.
Wolves 1-0.
They beat Wolves 1-0, and now they've beaten Luton 1-0.
Like you said, it's just a touch of class.
Dynasties end.
They don't. Oh my god.
Their finishing in this game was laughable.
It was bad.
They're just horrific finishing in this game.
There was only one other team that finished bad than them. We haven't talked about them yet.
We'll get there.
They were trying to keep it competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, man. If Luton...
It's because they can't hit the goals. They're too busy hitting their girlfriends. So I'm sorry.
Oh.
Damn.
He brought out the hatchet.
Damn. That, yeah.
I hate United so much.
Well, don't hide your feelings, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't hold back there. Yeah, and, if Luton could defend even at all,
oh, yeah.
they would have got a point.
Oh.
If Luton could finish even at all, they would have gotten a point from this game. Because once again, Harry Maguire is the man of the match, or Onana is the man of the match. Take your pick. Victor Lindelof pops up with the goal. Dude, you know what? You know what I haven't heard anybody talking about Man U's goal is that Scott McTominay completely Romelu Lukaku with in the 6. And they're fortunate that it bounces off his standing foot right to Lindelof.
Sterling style.
Playing that way.
Sterling style.
I mean, this is either the most brilliant, subtle assist that anyone's ever given, or you're a clown. Because he's swing and a miss. The umpire strike one like that. Oh my god!
It hits the back of the bat on the way on the round.
Yeah, and it somehow falls for Lindelof. Oh my god! And it's a typical, and this is why I called it. This is why I got this score right, because Man U games have been the same pattern. It's been the same thing from them every single game all year. If the team they're playing against isn't that great, then Man U will find one moment.
Yep.
If the team they're playing against is halfway decent, it's gonna take like a lot. It's gonna take a whole lot. That's why the games that Man U have really come up against tough opposition have been high-scoring games. So they lost to Newcastle, who are miles better than them. They lost to City, who are miles better than that. They shipped 4 goals to Copenhagen, shipped 3 goals to Galatasaray.
Can't wait.
And so the games that their players have a little bit more quality, they've edged. They've been able to find a moment. Bruno Fernandes was atrocious once again in this game. And he's been the one popping up to find moments, but he was ridiculous. It was bad. He was really poor in this game. This is Luton at home too, man. This is what I'm saying. Like this is rough pumpkins. And when they come up against good teams who either have more quality than them or have the same quality or have, just as many individuals with quality in the team, this one moment strategy, this one moment thing, it doesn't cut it. That's why when United come to the Bridge, or is it it's at Old Trafford.
It's at Trafford first, yeah.
Chelsea are going to win that game.
Oh, I cannot wait to walk into Old
Chelsea are going to win that game, dude. Because y'all get up for the big games, as we've noticed, and United doesn't get up for any game at all.
Dude, if we get Ten Hag sacked and Potter hired,
glorious.
Glorious. Glory, man.
Ten Hag is not going anywhere. They're in 6th, and they're going to win their next Champions League game.
How disgusting is that?
They're going to lose out of the league. No, they're going to get
they're going to lose in Turkey. They're going to lose in Turkey.
Bombed out of Champions, not make Europa. They're going to lose to us. They're going to. It's going to be glorious.
It'll be great, man. It's going to be so great. It's going to be.
Wait, the football gods deserve. I deserve this. You give it to me. My team's been shite for the last 2.5 seasons.
Man, you should see some of these Man U pages on Instagram.
I'm okay.
Talking about my two memes I saw today, or 2 posts I saw today, just made me laugh. Ten Hag has the best winning percentage of any Manchester United manager in history. No. In all of history, his winning percentage is 63%. Ferguson is 60%.
Dynasties end.
So that was the first one I saw. And then the second one I saw was what Lewis said. He was the fastest manager to reach 50 wins in Manchester United history.
Crown him now. Sir 10. And
he was compared once again to Sir Alex. And I'm like, you guys are absolutely nuts.
Bonkers.
Arsenal. I thought the Arsenal fan base was on some smoke sometimes, was on some dumb stuff sometimes. But seriously, you're comparing Ten Hag. You're saying that Ten Hag has a better win percentage than Sir Alex Ferguson, and you're trying to get people behind this?
Numbers don't lie. Crown him Sir 10.
Do we need to explain why this is absolutely stupid? Do I need to? No,
give Ten Hag 700 games at United. He's not getting above a 40 or 30%.
It's going to be a 22%.
In the longevity of what Sir Alex Ferguson was able to build and sustain at United. Yeah. That is disgusting. Yeah. I hate United. I hate Sir Alex Ferguson more than the next guy. That's dishonorable to the game. that is downright. You and Spurs deserve each other. That's what's going on.
It's dumb.
You deserve to be the new Spurs.
We didn't even mention the tweet I sent y'all for match of the day.
Which one?
Which one?
Man United are the most informed team.
Oh God. Oh God.
They picked up more points over the last 5 games than any other team.
Good for them. Good for them. You know what? Well done. Go get your Premier League form table trophy. Good job. That's well done. Have fun with your form league.
Said we are the farmers.
Don't lie.
Yeah, we are the farmers. Good for
the farmers, if that's the truth.
Good grief. This absolute dumpster fire of a Man U team is in 6th place in the league. # we are the farmers.
It's like Spurs last year.
We really got to ask the question. We have literally watched them, and you all keep saying they're not good. How dare you disrespect them?
Lewis, I will find you. Lewis, I will find you.
And so wait, let me so somehow they're still in 6th place because dynasties end, and you need to respect it with a K, not CT.
Okay.
Is that how Ten Hag spells it?
I am Sir Ten.
Hold on.
That's right. His name
Dynasty's
is
in.
If you get Ten Hag as Sir, his name is Sir 10. That's how positive I am about
Yeah. Oh, X is loving it. X is gone. X has left the chat. Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely getting wins somehow. It's baffling. I'm definitely enjoying.
No, Patrick got it right. It's Spurs last year.
I'm still enjoying the dumpster fire. I'm still enjoying the dumpster fire. You know, no one, you even as good as they are, you'd still rather be Chelsea.
No, it's the best one. Is the one. Didn't you share it, Jake? You were like, no, this is the United fans at the game, and then when dude's playing Pokemon.
Yes.
I'm looking at the top 8 right now.
That's how exciting they are.
And this is how special United is, and you're not going to disrespect them anymore. They're the only team in the top 8 that has a negative goal differential.
Yeah, right. I was about to say, they have a negative goal differential. That means when they lose a game, they lose a game.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, it's because they win. The games that they win are by 1 goal.
And the games they lose are by 8.
They're in 6th place.
Wow.
What did you say about boring Chelsea and City and Arsenal?
Yeah. Don't come with that. Come on now.
Makes me hate
No, there's a difference. There's a difference between Arsenal beating City 1-0 in a defensive masterclass and United being crap for 94 minutes and having 12 seconds of quality to win a game.
Potato, sir. Potato.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. We're gonna move on from this to another dumpster fire that I thoroughly enjoyed. The Cherries.
Shocking.
Beat a horrifying Newcastle.
Shocking.
What's their deal?
It was great. It was just so great.
That's 2 in a row.
I have not seen Newcastle play that bad since the takeover. Like, that was incredible. An incredible game.
They have injuries.
Stacking up for them.
Yeah. Yeah, just so many injuries. You know what? Kieran Trippier should ask that guy if he can come play center back for him.
Yeah, he should.
You know, because apparently that's what was going on there. You know, because apparently they're so injured they can't score against Bournemouth.
River,
yeah,
bro.
get the small violins out in the chat. Go ahead, get some cheese. We'll pour a little bit of wine for you. You know, some cheese with that wine. Because come on, dude, everybody's injured, and you're out here arguing with your own fans.
You want to compare hospital bills there, Kieran Trippier?
Yeah, come on, dude.
No, you don't. Our hospital bill's worth more than your team. I don't.
They were terrible.
I don't want to hear it.
Newcastle were truly awful in this game. This by far.
This is like a 5-0.
Pope
yeah, by far the worst performance I've seen Newcastle have. By far, the worst performance. Like, this is what I felt about the Newcastle. That's how shocked I was. You know,
I mean, it's just karma, right? Like, if you steal one, karma comes back and just absolutely bites you.
Oh yeah, you've probably noticed in the chat and in my demeanor recently over the last week about how
a little bit of hate there.
My feelings of neutrality, my jokes. Oh, it was some lighthearted jokes about Newcastle. They kick people. They like to slay their dragons. They like to bring the axes and the spears. Oh, it's great fun. We'll issue Series 4 deatomizer at the door. You know what? I hate these guys. They play dirty. I'm done with it. And yes, they deserve everything they got because that's some BS. Yeah, absolutely. You guys are gonna play dirty. You're too scared to play against big teams, so you go out there and try to kick them, you know. And then when you come to Bournemouth and you clearly disrespect Bournemouth, you don't think that Bournemouth are quote big team, so we don't actually have to play like that. We'll give Bournemouth a ton of space all over the park, and you got beat,
punished.
You got punished.
Honestly, they got destroyed. They're just Pope was
the 2-0. The 2-0 is flattering for Newcastle. They got wrecked.
Yeah,
I was thoroughly enjoyed that. Fantastic performance from the Cherries, man. I feel like it takes a little bit of pressure off Areola, the manager.
It's big win for them.
Bottom of the table's starting to get a little spicy.
Big win for them to move.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Newcastle
bottom race might be a lot better than the top race.
No. It's pretty spicy up at the top as well. But yeah, definitely excited to see Bournemouth beat Newcastle. Newcastle struggling with them injuries, man. And Newcastle's upcoming run isn't fun either. So I think they have Spurs and Chelsea in the next couple of games. So everybody's playing everybody, man. Meanwhile, Arsenal got Brentford. Yeah, you know, and
hey, I don't know, man. You might be worried.
I wouldn't sleep on Brentford.
Don't sleep on. Hey, you know what I'll tell you, Jake. Listen,
especially when you go to the G-Tech.
Don't sleep on Brentford. We learned a lesson.
We've already won at the G-Tech this season. Don't worry about us.
That was a cup game.
Don't worry about us. Yeah, and they played their full team, and we played a third string team, and we beat them. So I'm not saying I'm getting cocky or anything, but you know, while y'all are out here playing big games versus Newcastle and Brighton and going to Old Trafford, we'll play the Luton Towns. We'll get our game in versus Brentford. Loving it. Man City's playing Liverpool. You know, Arsenal back on top of the table. That's all I'm.
Be a game, bro.
That's all I'm looking forward to, baby. That's
gonna be a game.
That's all I'm worried about, you know. But let's go ahead and we are over 2 hours here. Let's go ahead and run through the rest of these games. Everton with a big win over Palace.
Lewis called this this game is going to be so defensively poor that there.
Yeah, but Eze was back.
Eze was back.
Eze was the man of the match, and they lost. Literally, Eze was the best player on the pitch, and they lost this game. You know, so I think that it's very Palace once again showing the enigma status this season.
I can't call a Palace game either.
can't call an Everton game to save my life either.
Yeah, apparently.
We were
They
worried
started
about
scoring goals
off the cliff, and they're no longer near the cliff.
Everton said we're not getting relegated this year.
I had them getting relegated.
They're building in points so that when they lose 12, they still stay up.
Oh, this is it.
It's not even. Yeah, man.
FC, can't let them die.
And now like one of Man United's coming up fixtures is at Goodison Park. I'm sitting here going,
I'm up for it.
Okay, man. All right. I don't know, but good for Palace and Elise came in this game as well. So they got Eze and Elise coming back going forward. So Palace will Palace will definitely improve. Everton definitely on the up and up. There was another 3-2 game this weekend. West Ham and Nottingham Forest at the London Stadium. This one was interesting. Very, very interesting dynamic in this game. Everyone was asleep for the first 5 minutes. And so both teams scored in the first 5 minutes. And then nobody played for like an hour. It was like
it's the Spider-Man's point.
Yeah, they kind of took a break and were like sparring for the next hour. It kind of calmed down after the first 15 minutes of craziness, first 10 minutes of being wild. And man, Forest cannot defend set pieces to save their life. Come on, man. You had it. It was right there. You had it in your hands. And you let Thomas Souček free in the box. He's the tallest guy on the field. I'm surprised.
A hand on it.
I was going to say, I'm surprised he didn't do a hand of God as good as he is at handballs. He is the second keeper in the West Ham team.
Yes,
I'm going to say, man, I'm not a fan of Thomas Souček because there was another moment when we played them in the cup, and you realize there's no VAR, and he knows it. That first goal, just saying. But I don't hold a grudge.
No, at all.
I would never hold a grudge, but
never against Newcastle or
no. I love all teams. I love everybody, and then it's F this guy and F Man City and Chelsea
bus breaks down.
They know where to get off the bus, and you know how I feel about Spurs, Ange Pasta no clue out here. Like, yeah, I got spikes for everybody. I got spikes for everybody, man. Yeah, man, West Ham
expressions. He's been a little quiet lately.
He had something where he was saying that Spurs were in trouble. So
he put out a video today, and his watch-alongs are fantastic.
Oh, really?
Especially when they're losing. It's like
to go find one to watch.
It's like music for my soul, man. I just absolutely, absolutely love it. I absolutely love the Spurs tears, but man. This feels like Nottingham Forest gave it away at the end, man, with just some real poor defending. Their counterattacking style really worked really well in this game, I thought. And it was back and forth, very entertaining kind of match.
Yeah.
But West Ham edged it in the end. And West Ham are quietly having a decent season. I think they're going to be
a lot better than I thought they were going to be.
Hey, Lewis, are y'all going to go back in for Paqueta?
In the middle.
I think City. They were saying that they're waiting for the outcome or some more clarity on the betting thing. And once they know that, they probably will go back in because Nunez looks like a deer in headlights, man.
My man scored a pretty good goal on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Are you talking about Paqueta? Yeah, for sure.
An interesting piece for y'all.
Yeah, I definitely think he's been one of West Ham's best players this season for sure. But yeah, there you have it. Absolutely crazy weekend in the Premier League. Lots and lots of goals, lots of back and forth games, some surprises, some things that weren't necessarily a surprise. But like Anthony Taylor having a crap game. But But we don't talk about such things.
Handball outside of the box.
We need to back the referees. We just need to get on with the game, because the referees are untouchable. It's a tough job, man, and they're humans too. It's an emotional time. They're really under a lot of pressure, and we really need to just let them do their thing without questioning how bad they are ever.
I know I can find you, so just say.
Hey, man, I'm just saying this. Everyone gets a participation trophy at the end of the season, man. It's all happy. All the referees are gonna be fine. We don't want to put too much pressure on them, so we'll let them go down to the championship for one game, and it's okay if you're terrible and you don't have a great game. You'll get to come back next week.
All of them get sent
mail for the Cup Chasers stickers. They're coming. Put the stickers right here, and then you can probably scratch them, and it'll be scratch and sniff. Don't lick them because, well, that's weird. But you could lick them and then just let us know what happens.
Hey, I'll lick it. I'll let you know.
We're getting stickers, Cup Chaser stickers. Just stick them right there.
I think all of our refs should do a stint in the Brazil league to see what it's like to be threatened. Mess up.
No, Eastern Europe. Put them in your Eastern Europe. Yeah. Give them a month in Eastern Europe and see what happens.
Put them in the Romanian league and see what happens.
Where the Romanian refereeing association are handing out guns and stuff.
You're gonna need this for after.
Did you bring a knife? Did you bring that machete I told you about? Yeah. Get this one wrong and see what happens.
Pulls out an anti-tank to the crowd.
Yeah, it's like, whoa! I'm gonna go.
You give them a Cup Chaser sticker, snap it right there, scratch and sniff, then you're good.
They know they're good.
No, they're good. Yeah, they'll be fine. Absolutely. Well, yeah. On that note, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It has been a wonderful evening, a wonderful discussion. We've ran quite long. It was a wonderful weekend in the Premier League. All smiles for all smiles for all of us. Really, it's a good time to be at the top for Arsenal. Chelsea, Chelsea looking good. Definitely a good result to go into international break on, and City on top, where they always are. So it's a good time here on the Cup Chasers podcast, and we're happy you're here. Happy. Like the video if you like the video, of course. Thanks for being here. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are on our way to 200. To 200. We have a question here from Mr. Richard Huttonson.
Yeah.
We are doing great. No, I do not have season tickets. We don't have season tickets at any club. I think Lewis has season tickets at DC United.
I did, but they gave me stickers, and I'm about stickers.
They gave you the stickers. They gave you stickers.
Club gives out stickers. I'll get a season ticket.
When I have enough disposable income to just buy a seat that stays empty because we live over here, and then I get the card.
I'm gonna send them a cardboard cutout of my face, and you can put that in the stands each week.
Honestly, I looked at our season ticket package. It wasn't that bad. I honestly thought about buying it for one seat and donating the seat to a kid.
You can buy a kid's seat
or an orphan or something like. I want
really
almost that this year because ours was super cheap. It was $1,100 package. It was for season tickets that was cheap.
That's kind of cool.
Have you looked into
That's really cool.
Part of the CPO?
No,
I have not.
So at Chelsea, I looked the other day. I think it's £100 to be registered as a pitch owner, and then you can have you can pay a little bit more, and you'll get if you live in London, of course, you'll get called out on the field as a pitch owner and things like that, and it goes up and up and up and up, and it's really cool.
It's like Barca selling their field.
Barca selling their diamond.
See, that's the thing. Chelsea themselves don't own it. It's the CPO.
It's the company, yeah.
The Chelsea Pitch Owners Association.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day I'll spend some time in England and be able to go to some games. Hopefully, hey, you never know. The Cup Chasers might take us there. I would absolutely love that. But yeah, like I say, let's go and get the likes up on the video. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Subscribe if you're new. We are on our way to 200 subscribers. Again, it's been a good one. We hope you have a wonderful evening, and you will see us next time.